Welcome back to the session of financial management. We have started first unit in the last session. First unit is all about the basic aspects or a fundamental aspect of financial management. Already we have discussed the few points, just a quick revision of last session. In the last session, we have had a discussion like what do you mean by finance, how we can define the finance, what do you mean by management, and types of finance. Then after we have discussed the meaning of financial management, and we have also understand the financial management from the point of view of various experts or authors. Okay, so finance is a very important aspect for any business. It is considered as a lifeblood. Okay, and it includes capital, investment, funds, money, currency, coin, everything. Okay, and here finance means management of money, and business finance means management of money in the business. We have two types of finance: private finance and public finance. Private finance is again categorized in two categories: business finance and personal finance. Personal finance means money with you and me. Business finance means money required to start a business or to operate a business, and public finance means money with the government, central government, state government, or local government. Then after we have discussed the definition of financial management given by the Solomon. And according to the Solomon, financial management means efficient use of economic resources, capital fund. Second, the most important definition, and that you need to remember that the second definition is given by Ashik Kushal. Important definition for 1 mark question or for 8 mark, 4 marks, and MPQ question. There are two elements, and according to him, financial management deal with the procurement of funds and their effective utilization in the business. Other definitions are there, but I'm not going for that discussion. And lastly, we are in a discussion about the scope of financial management, or we can call that the important decisions in financial management. Generally, we have three decisions: financing, investment, and dividend. But in a modern financial management, in a modern era, in a 21st century, there are four decisions in financial management. And the fourth one is working capital decision. And I think so. Already we have done the discussion about the financial management up to the first point. Okay, we have done the discussion up to the financial sources of finance. I'm right, if I'm not wrong, and if I correctly remember the last point. We have taken my example that I want to start a food business in the Rajkot. Okay, what are the things are required? Sorry, which are the things are required for starting a business? Okay, and we have listed out the things that we required: a place, main, machinery, and money. But everything is available. First, we required money, and for that we have various sources. First of all, we have our money. Our money means my money, money that I have with my wallet, pocket, or in my locker or in a bank account. If this money is not efficient, then I ask to my family members. Again, in a family members, nobody is ready to help me, or nobody having that funds. I go for a friends and relatives. This is my internal circle. But this internal circle is not sufficient to provide me a finance or a money. I will go for the external circle. In the external sources or external finance, we called it a bank loan or a short-term loan from the other financial institute and so on. The list is so on. But here, when we are discussing the financial management, we are not discussing our personal finance. Okay, so your sources of finance means sources of finance for a large companies, for a big organizations, and for a big organization, generally we have three sources of finance, three sources of capital. Are you aware about this? When I'm talking about the company forms of organization, at that time we have three different sources. The first source is equity share capital. Now, can you tell me a second and third? Okay, second capital is debt capital, and the third capital is preference share capital. So whenever company required a fund, whenever company required money, okay, at that time company have three main sources. The first source, company may issue the equity shares. Number two, company may issue the preference shares. And number three, company may issue the debentures or company may issue the bonds. Generally, bonds are issued by the government. Companies are not issuing the bonds. Okay. So mainly we have three different sources for a finance. Are we clear about the first point? Okay. Now coming back to my business. Suppose I don't have that money to start my business, and I'm looking for a bank loan. Now I funded out two banks which are ready to give me a loan. One is SBI Bank. SBI Bank offering me a sufficient amount of loan. Suppose I want a loan for 20 lakh rupees. So SBI is ready to give me a 20 lakh rupees loan. And on a second hand, I have a second option. On a second hand, ICICI Bank is also ready to give me a bank. Now, as per your opinion, which bank loan I need to select? The bank loan from SBI Bank or bank loan from ICICI? What is your opinion? आप क्या करोगे अगर मेरी जगह पे होते तो आप एसबीआई की लोन लेते या आईसीआईसी की लोन लेते? Hello, are you there? Yes. Now you have two options: bank loan from SBI or bank loan from ICICI. आपको दोनों ही ऑफर कर रहे हैं कि आप बैंक लोन ले लो हमसे. आप कौन सी लोगे? एसबीआई बैंक से लोगे या फिर आईसीआईसी बैंक से लोगे? Okay, Meet said SBI. What about others? There are 30 students, 30 plus students in the class. Okay, Dhruv said SBI. Okay. Meet said SBI. What about others? Gopal, Nirmala, Aryan, Shruti, Dev, Dhruv, Shreya, Akshay, Harsh, Raj, Darshit, Vishnu, Mitali, Abhi, Yagnik, Vaibhav. Where are you, all of you? Vidhi, Viraj, Shruti. Okay, Nirmala said SBI. Why SBI? Both are offering the bank loan. Then why SBI? Reason behind selection or preference for SBI is yes. Okay. Yes, my dear, security is there. Okay. Generally what happen in a public sector bank? The SBI is public sector bank and ICICI is private sector bank. So generally the rate of interest is lower in a public sector bank as compared to the private sector bank. So when I am thinking about the money or for getting of money, at that time I also need to think about the cost of money. Why I am preferring, or why the most of people are preferring SBI? Because the rate of interest is lower than the ICICI. Are you getting my point? So whenever we are or whenever the company are in a position or are in a planning to acquire more money, company also need to think about the cost of capital, the cost of finance, cost of money. Suppose company wants to issue the equity share capital, company first to think about the cost of equity capital. Company need to think about the cost of preference capital. Company need to think about the cost of debentures. Let's take an example. Company issue the 10% debentures. So it means the 10% is considered as a cost of debenture. In respect of profit, company need to pay the interest of 10% to the debenture holders every year. Whether the company is earning a profit of 50%, 20%, 10%, 5%, 2%, or whether a company is suffering the losses, company have to pay 10% interest to debenture holders. Okay, so first we need to think about from where we can get the money. Next question is at which cost we can get the money. These 2 points are clear. Okay, now the third point is financing mix. Here financing means the ratio of debt capital and equity capital. Suppose some companies are having that ratio 50% equity, 50% debt. Okay, some companies are having the ratio like that, 50% equity, 30% preference, 20% debentures. So that ratio is very, very important when we are thinking about the financial decision. Again, this ratio is depend upon the policy, strategies, and the mindset of the company's management. So there is no any proper standard ratio that 50%, 50%, 20%, 30% like this. There is no any standard ratio of debt and equity. Okay, but as per the company size, as per the management policies and the future plan, they will decide the particular ratio. So in a financing decision, we need to think about the three areas. Number one, sources of finance, and number two, cost of finance, and number three, financing. So this is all about the financing decision. Is there any query or anything in a financing decision that you want to share? Okay, now let me go for the second one. See, I have started a business. I am running my food business very well, and I am earning the profit. Okay, and now I have some surplus. Suppose I have a surplus of rupees 7 lakh. Can you suggest me what can I do with this 7 lakh rupees? As a businessman, as a company, what should I do? Okay, Mitch said investment. Okay. Yes, you are right, investment or reinvest. Yes, it is also right, reinvest. Reinvestment in business. Vivek said reinvestment in business. Very good. लगता है बाकी सबको बिजनेस में कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. Okay, so the next decision is investment decision. In an investment decision, first we need to define the business plan. First we need to define the business. Okay, already I have decided my business, food business. I need to develop a plan. I already developed a plan. Okay, I required money. I acquired the money from the various sources. I invested my money in the place, okay, in the machineries and on a main. Now, this is called as capital budgeting that we will learn later on. This is not important. But when we are thinking about or when we are discussing about the investment decisions, we need to think about 2 or 3 parameters. Okay, suppose I have this 7 lakh rupees. Okay, and I have a various options. Like I can invest this 7 lakh rupees in FD, fixed deposit. Okay. Also I have a second option that I can invest this 7 lakh rupees in the gold. Okay. Third, I have an option that I can invest this 7 lakh rupees in the share market. Okay. Suppose I invest this 7 lakh rupees in the FD, fixed deposit, I will get 6% interest or 6.5, 6.7 something interest is there on a yearly basis. Okay. On a yearly basis, I will get 6% interest and there is a zero risk. Return is there 6%, but the risk is zero. If I invest the same amount in the gold, I get some more return, but also the risk is there. Maybe in the future, the price of the gold may fall down. Now the third option. Okay. Let's take in one practical example. Open your Google. Yes, are you with me? Everyone? Okay. Now search Tata Motors share price in 2015. Tata Motors share price in 2015. You will get some figures. Just Google it. Share price of Tata Motors in 2015. Your answer must be 35.72. I'm right? Or if you are getting the same answer, Google सबको सही answer देगा. Okay? Okay. Now, again go to the Google and again search share price of Tata Motors today. Share price of Tata Motors today. And you're surprised to know that, okay, yesterday this price was 308, okay, and today is 312. Now are you getting my point? Okay, see the return. If I have only one share of Tata Motors in 2015, at that time I have invested only 35.72 rupees. And now you see after the 6 years, the price of that share is 312 rupees. And in case in the wash to wash scenario, this 35 rupees may become a zero. Okay. So whenever we are thinking about the investment decision, we need to think this 3 parameters: time, risk, and return. Time, risk, and return. Remember the Arshad Mehta series, one of the famous dialogue of Arshad Mehta. इश्क है तो रिस्क है और रिस्क है तो इश्क है. क्या था वो? I don't exactly remember that line. इश्क है तो रिस्क है, ऐसे ही है. Yes, risk है तो इश्क है. Okay, the same thing is applicable here. So I hope so. Now the investment decision is clear. In an investment decision, okay, in an investment decision, we need to think about a business. We need to think about develop a business plan, and we need to invest our money, our finance in various assets, various plans. Okay, and whenever we have surplus, we need to think about the reinvestment of our money. And while reinvesting the money, we need to think about these 3 parameters: time, risk, and return. Grill IPO is out, and on investment of Yes, my dear Vishnu, you are right. Okay, share market is, जब भी देता है तब छप्पड़ फाड़ के देता है, जब लेता है तब भी छप्पड़ फाड़ के ही लेता है. ओके, सो एक स्ट्रेटेजी के साथ अगर आप खेलोगे तो आपको बहुत ज्यादा मिलेगा, बट विदाउट अ प्लानिंग और स्ट्रेटेजी आप अपना मनी भी लॉस कर सकते हो. दैट वी विल डिस्कस लेटर ऑन, वो भी उसमें डिटेल में नहीं जाता है. बट द पॉइंट इज देयर, इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन इज क्लियर नाउ. ओके, now number 3, and that is dividend decision. In a dividend decisions is there in the company whenever company are earning the profit. If company is suffering the losses, at that time we can't think about the dividend. Okay, so the first or thumb rule of dividend decision, it means company have a profitable business. If the company have a profitable business and company have some extra amount means some extra profit, at that time the third decision comes in the picture. And whenever the dividend decisions comes, first we need to decide the dividend policy. Dividend policy, suppose let's I take 2 examples. Okay, that one company X has decided that we will declare the dividend of rupees 10 every year. So here fixed amount dividend policy is there. Every year company declaring the dividend of rupees 10. And suppose Y company is there and Y company said that our dividend policy is different. We will issue or we will declare the dividend 5% of net profit. Okay, 5% of net profit. So here fixed dividend policy is there, but the fixed that depend upon the net profit. So whenever the dividend decision is there, first we need to decide, it means first company need to decide the dividend policy. Number 2, after deciding the dividend policy, company need to think about in which form we can pay the dividend. In form of cash, in form of check, in form of direct deposited in the bank account of shareholders, in form of stock, in form of equity shares, or in form of bonus shares, or in form of other securities. Okay, first we need company need to decide the dividend policy, which dividend policy company will adopt. Number 2, in which form company are going to pay the dividend, payment of dividend. And number 3 and last, suppose company need more money, more finance to expand the business, to grow the business. At that time the board of directors are not going to declare the dividend, but whatever the profit is generated from the business operation, all the profit are reinvested in the business. Okay, so there are 3 areas in dividend decisions: dividend policy, payment of dividend, and reinvestment of profit. The third decision is clear for everyone? Okay. Okay. So here our general discussion is over. Now, if somebody asks that in the modern management we have 4 decisions. The fourth decision is working capital decisions. So let's take it few minutes to learn the working capital decision or working capital management. Okay. Here working capital means a capital or a finance or a fund required for day-to-day operations. Finance required for or money required for day-to-day operations. The working capital includes, okay, current assets and current liabilities. If we consider only the current liabilities, it is called as a gross working capital. Okay, and if we deduct the current liabilities from the current assets, this is known as net working capital. We will discuss later on with a practical question in the unit number 5, but I am just giving you the overview. Okay, gross working capital means current assets, only current assets or total current assets, and net working capital means current assets minus current liabilities. And other short-term finances, okay, like as short-term loan from a bank, from a financial institutes, or short-term receivables, short-term payables, all the things are part of working capital. So working capital means a capital required for day-to-day operations. It includes short-term finances. It includes day-to-day operations, and it's mainly deal with the current assets and current liabilities. So are we clear about this fourth decision? Suppose the same question will ask in the made examinations having 8 marks. Okay, so you need to write the introduction. Okay, you need to write the definition of financial management. Please remember one common point for all the theoretical question from unit 1. Okay, whenever you see the word financial management, compulsorily you need to write an introduction for 4 to 5 lines and one definition of financial management. Done? What you need to write in respect of question कोई भी हो, advantages, limitation, scope, functions, role, objectives. In respect of questions, if the word financial management is there, we need to write these 2 points. First, introduction, 4 to 5 lines, and definition of financial management. Then from the third point, we will go for that discussion, whether the scope, objective, advantages, limitations, rest of all the things. So when this question will be there in the mid examination, it's having 8 marks, and we have 2 marks for each decision. Are we clear about this one? Everyone, are we clear about this one? सी अभी मुझे जितना याद आएगा मैं आपको इन बिटवीन बताते जाऊंगा कि क्या लिखना है, किस तरह से लिखना है, ये कैसा क्वेश्चन आ सकता है एट द एंड ऑफ द सेमेस्टर, एट द एंड ऑफ द हाफ सेमेस्टर यू आर कमिंग टू मी एंड आस्किंग मी अबाउट द सेम कि सर ये क्वेश्चन कितने मार्क्स में आ सकता है, अगर मैंने इतना लिखा है तो इसमें कितने मार्क्स मिलेंगे. आई एम नॉट रिस्पॉन्सिबल टू आंसर एट दैट टाइम. So whenever I feel that this is necessary to discuss in the class, I will discuss. Now it's your duty, your task, or your responsibility to note down somewhere that if this question is asked for 8 marks, we have 2 marks for this. It is your responsibility. Okay. So whenever I say something about this type of points, please note down in your book. So when you will prepare for examinations, you will get the clear idea that this is for 8 marks, this is for 4 marks, this is for 1 mark, this is for MCQ. Okay, now my first question. What is the main objective of any organization or any company? The main objective of any organization. Good. So our next point is objectives of financial management. Objectives of financial management. Please note down this main title in your book, Objectives of Financial Management. Up to this, what we have written down in the book: meaning of finance, types of finance, definition of financial management, scope of financial management. Now the fifth point in your book, objective of financial management. I'm not saying that you write each and every line, each and every word, just write down the main title and subtitles. Done? So mainly we have two objectives in a financial management. Okay, number one is profit maximization, and number two is wealth maximization. Without wasting the further time, let me go for the first objective. The first objective is profit maximization. Okay, as we have discussed that each and every activities done by the business or a businessman is to earn a profit. Okay, all the business, all the companies are operating, or they are mainly focusing only for one purpose. They are establishing for one purpose, except the NGOs and government organizations, because the government organization and NGOs are not mindset to earn a profit. They are for the society well-being, they are for the people's well-being. But except this, all the companies, all the firms, all the businessmen are doing all the functionings or all the operations only for our earning of profit. And why this profit is main important for any business? Because the profit represent the efficiency of the business. Profit represent the financial position of the business. Profit represent the reputation of the business. Okay, so that's why the profit is more important for any business. All the operations, all the activities are done to earn a profit, and every time, in every aspect, in every strategy, company wants to maximize the profit. Here, maximize the profit means company wants more and more and more and more profit. Now, can you tell me which are the ways that company can use to improve the profitability or to get the more profit? ऐसे कौन से रास्ते हैं जो कंपनी को ज्यादा प्रॉफिट दे सकते? Yes, yellow. Okay, more shell. Okay, you are in a right direction, but you are nearby the answer. Exact answer is not more shell. Oh, more investment. Okay. Advertisement. Okay. Growth and development. Okay. Revenue. Product cost less by giving discount on product. Okay, all the ways are right. Okay, all the ways are right. I'm not saying that nothing is wrong, but whenever we are thinking about the more profit, or when we are discussing that how the company can earn a more profit, only there are two ways. In these two ways, in these two categories, we consider or we include everything. Number one is to increase the income, to increase the revenue. For increasing the revenue, we have so many ways. Okay, giving the discount, giving a more advertisement. Okay, increasing the sales price. There are so many ways, but the main way is to increase the income. Suppose in my business, my monthly income, in my food business, my monthly income is suppose 10 lakh rupees, and my monthly expenses are suppose 6 lakh rupees. So right now I am earning a profit of rupees 4 lakh. Suppose if I increase my income by any ways, मैं डिस्काउंट दूं या सेल्स प्राइस बढ़ा दूं या मैं एडवर्टाइजमेंट करूं, पब्लिसिटी करूं, मार्केटिंग करूं, जो भी करूं, बट एनी हाउ आई हैव increased my sales or my income from 10 lakh to 12 lakh. My cost remains same, 6 lakh. So again, my profit will rupees 6 lakh rupees. This is the first way. Now, can you tell me the second way? To reduce the second way to increase the profit is to reduce the cost, to reduce the expenses. Right now my expenses are 6 lakh rupees. Suppose I reduce these expenses by rupees 1 lakh. So automatically my profit will increase from 4 lakh to 5 lakh. Okay, now clear? There are two ways only to earn a more profit, to maximize the profit. Number one, to increase the revenue, to increase the income, and number two, reduce the expenses, reduce the cost. By doing these two things, company can increase or company can get a more profit. Chalo, are we clear about up to this? Okay. Now see, whenever, okay, suppose I have increased my income for this month because I have published my advertisement in one of the reputed newspaper. Now, can you tell me that this increase of income or this increase of revenue of 2 lakh remains same for all the months? Remain same for all the years. On every month, I publish my advertisement in that respective or that reputed newspaper, and every month I will get the 2 lakh additional sales, additional income. No, okay. So for a short run, all the ways, okay, all the activities are possible to increase the profit, to get the maximum profit. But for a long run, profit maximization can't be your main objective, main motive. Okay, so that's why, as we are thinking about only the money, profit, that's why this profit maximization approach is called as a narrow approach, because our thinking is limited to only a profit. Okay, that's why it is considered as a narrow approach and also known as a traditional approach. Please remember that may be asked in MCQ question that profit maximization is also known as ... Okay, traditional approach or narrow approach. Okay, and that's why profit maximization have some limitations. Okay, profit maximization have some limitations like we are having a narrow thinking, we are thinking about only a profit, and while thinking about the profit we are ignoring the risk and time value of money. We are focusing only on more income, we are focusing on less expenses. We are not thinking about the business risk. We are not considering the financial risk. We are not considering the time value of the money. And number two, even though we are not in a position to get the same thing for a long run. Okay, so whatever we are doing, it's only for a short term. So profit maximization have three limitations. It's a narrow approach. It's ignore the risk and time value of money, and it's emphasis. It's mainly focused on short-term profitabilities. Okay, so due to these limitations, the new concept come in the picture, and that concept, that objective is wealth maximization. So somebody asks you, or the question may ask that why the wealth maximization come in the picture, or why the wealth maximization is more important than the profit maximization, due to this three reasons. Okay, narrow concept, ignore the risk and time value, and it's only for a short term. For a long run, profit is not enough to survive and to grow the business, to develop the business. Now, the next concept and the important concept is wealth maximization. Your wealth maximization means maximizing the net present value. It means the wealth of a course of action. It means wealth of the business. And here, wealth of the business means wealth of the shareholders. Okay. So let me take 2 more minutes, and then we are going for a conclusion of this slide and session both. When I only the 1%, I started a business, I operating the business, I am taking a risk. Okay. At that time, it is known as sole proprietorship. Only one person doing the everything. He brings the money, he operates the business, he get the profit, he suffer the loss, and he is responsible for each and every action of business. Suppose one person is not sufficient to manage to operate the business, at that time we required more people. So if we have minimum 2 and maximum 200 people, then it is considered as, or then it is called as partnership firm. Okay. In a partnership firm, all the partners are bringing their capital, their money, they are operating the business, or in behalf of all, one is operating the business, and whatever the profit is there, that distributed among the partners as per their profit sharing ratio. And all the partners are responsible for risk and all the activities of the business. But when we are discussing about the company forms of organization, in that forms of organization we have two different parties. The first party is owner of the companies. Here owner of the companies means equity shareholders, and second party is management of the company. Management of companies means board of directors, CEOs, MDs, and executives. This I consider as a management of the companies. And second party is owners of the company, and specifically we called equity shareholders are the owner of the company. Now my question to you, okay, that why equity shareholders are considered as an owner of the company? You have 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, find out the answer, and please remind me on in the next sessions, or in the last session you have asked this question, and we will start the discussion from that question in the next class. Okay, your task, your question, your homework is very simple. Why equity shareholders are known as owner of the company, or owners of the company? Okay, now this is all from my side for today class. If you have anything to share,